so excited to chat with you about Holey Moley 3D and 2D. How are you feeling about this season so far?
Just the fact that you even said that, like, we get to see Holey Moley 3D in 2D. Like, that's exactly what the show is. We're corny. We do not take ourselves too seriously. It's unexpected, and it's even better than season one. That's the crazy thing, because season one was when I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I have the coolest job in Hollywood, hands down. There's nothing that beats this. But then season three, I look at season one now and I'm like, that was soft. That wasn't even as creative and as crazy as it could get. And now we're here. So I love it. I'm so excited, and I can't believe we found people to actually play along and get into this with us.
Now I have to ask, have you ever tried out one of the courses? I feel like when I'm watching, I'm always like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. But in real life, I feel like it would be a very different situation.
Yeah, it is a different situation. When you think in your head, whatever it is that you plan to accomplish, add in the bright lights, 10 different cameras that are all pointing at you in different directions, Rob and Joe tearing you apart in the skybox, me screaming and cheering you on with Gopher from the sidelines amongst hundreds of fans that are also watching you. Then you've got your high school teacher watching at home. You've got your ex-boyfriends, your boss. I mean, the pressure just becomes uncontainable. So that's where I'm like, I think I could do it, but whatever you picture is going to be totally freaking different when you get there and camera is on.
I feel like the contestants make it look a lot easier than it actually probably is.
Yet still they get the trophy, man, because no matter what the contestants, this is what I will give about Holey Moley, because as much as we can say that the contestants are crazy, or they've got nothing else to do, or whatever it is that you could say, hands down, they are the bravest and most undeniably fun people you will find in America. And that's what made the show so nice for me, because being cooped up for quarantine and also seeing like what my members of my family every day, after a while, you're like, who else is in this world? And when you meet people who are just so fun and wild and interesting, and everybody had a story, everybody had a reason why they wanted to come. And that just gave you this zeal to cheer them on, and it made you so excited for them. And so to me, I made a lot of friends every season from Holey Moley, and it made me really love these people that make up who America is.
Well, I'm excited to see it all unfold this season. I know you just mentioned being cooped up in quarantine with your family. Access Hollywood actually recently chatted with your husband, Jeezy, who said that you took his breath away when you walked down the aisle at your wedding. What did you think of his pink suit, and what was going through your head at that moment?
Well, first, can we talk about the fact that I did not know what he was going to wear? Like, he didn't know what I was going to wear, and that's customary. But I asked him, like, babe, what color? Can I just match the flowers towards you? Like, give me anything. He's so secretive, he wouldn't tell me anything. So that was the first time I saw him. And when I don't see Jeezy wearing pink. That's not a hue that he has in his collection of black, gold, diamonds, like nothing. So I was so pleasantly surprised, because he looked just beautiful. He looked handsome. And it was actually a champagne blush that was the pink, which made it even just more, he looked so divine and fresh and handsome. And he was my husband. That was the best part that I was walking towards.
And I feel like weddings are such a special moment in your life. I know when I look back at mine, I have so many favorite moments of my personal wedding. Do you have any moments that stood out as your favorite moments during your wedding?
My favorite moment. My favorite moment would have to be coming downstairs into kind of the dance floor that we put together for our friends and family, and watching Mama Mai drag Jeezy onto the dance floor, my mom, and they just went at it. And they were dancing to her favorite, which was Michael Jackson. And everybody was in our matching pajamas. My mom and Jeezy were tearing up the dance floor. Everybody was clapping around them. And that's when I just began to see my family. Like, this is where it's starting. And that to me, I will remember for the rest of my life.
I feel like that's so special when your family has such a close bond with your partner. And I also saw recently that you took your mom to her first Jeezy concert. What was that like?
That was crazy. Yeah, my mom, she actually found it. She was online. She saw a concert Jeezy representing in Houston, which is her home city. And she was like, why you don't take me? Why you don't invite me? And he's like, I don't know. I don't even think that you'd want to, what? And what's so cool about them going is that they planned it themselves. They didn't even invite me. By the way, I was there. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I showed up on my own to be like, yo, can I be a part of this? But they had their own plan. She had an outfit where I've never seen her. I mean, she always designs her outfits, but this one, she got a full head to toe black, like almost like a Batwoman suit with lights. She attached lights to her entire outfit.
I love it.
She had her favorite designer, Jeannie Couture, make it. And there she was. She lit up Jeezy's show. And that is what Mama Mai does. And that is what Mama Mai does for her son, Jeezy.
I love that. I love hearing those types of stories. I feel like fans are really supportive of you and your relationship on social media. I have to ask, has anything changed in your relationship since tying the knot? I feel like when I got married, I just like grew really a lot closer. I don't know if that's the same for you.
Yeah, we grew very, very much closer. We were really close when we were dating, but I think the things that we learned in order to really unite our marriage is exactly what kind of relationship we wanted. The things to fill in, the little holes of being alone, or maybe being insecure if somebody has to travel or have, a lot of time away from home. We discuss everything. We discuss how we want to have dinner together, how we want to have dinner together as a habit. What do we do if he's on tour? What do we do if I travel? So that is the most mature thing about a relationship for me, because usually in a relationship, you kind of go through it and then you get hit with hurdles of whether or not it worked or not. You go through a few fights, you go through, a few, somebody holds back. Somebody's like, well, if you're going to be this way, I'm going to be this way back to you. No, this is a relationship where we're like, okay, traveling season is coming up. You're going to go on tour. I've got to go, shoot the reel or whatever it may be. How do we want this to happen? How do we want every day? How do we want to have our meals together? How do we want to pray together? How do we want to go to bed together? That's something that's very new for me and my favorite part about this marriage.
I feel like communication is key, and I feel like it sounds like you have really great communication skills with each other, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely what I heard. I heard that the key to marriage is mainly communication.
Yes, I 100% agree with that sentiment. But jumping back to Holey Moley,
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask, how did it feel to get back together with Rob, Joe, and Steph? I feel like after quarantine, it must have made that even more special.
Yeah, I could not ask for a better team. Steph, by the way, I mean, first of all, a man who does it all. He really has his heart into the show and adds such a fun energy, because he's obviously a golfer himself, and he also just lets us do our thing because he knows that Rob, Joe, and I cannot be tamed. And then when it comes to Rob and Joe, they're so funny and they're so stupid and they're so silly and they're so goofy. I can't imagine the course without them. Like if I don't hear their commentary around me, I feel like something's missing, because they're just on it. And it's like the producers were really also very smart to put them in a skybox, like way afar from me, because they would be bruised up if I could hit them every time I heard them say something where I'm like, shut up. How can you say that? And it's just, they're so funny. So I get to hear them through my audio, and they're all the way over there and they're like, and I'm like, ugh.